careful and stay away.
Do you wanna know? Do you wanna know? Do you wanna know? All that remains of a once powerful nation. Do you wanna know? 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 Do you wanna know?
Be careful and stay away. 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 Stay away.
Did it start over? Didn't mean for that to happen. I'm here. I'm here. I'm here. Hold on just a minute, y'all. Okay. All right. I'm ready there. What's happening? What's happening? What's happening? What's happening, people? What's happening? What's happening? Uh, it is your Uncle Jeff. He is I, and I am him. How's everybody? How's everybody? How am I looking? Am I blurry? Am I am I going? Am I funky looking? Uh what's going on, everybody? What's happening? What's happening? What's happening? What's happening? Uh it is your Uncle Jeff. Welcoming you to the first church of holy shit. All 19 of you. My vision is clear. You can see me clear. Good. Look like Wilt was first. Anthony Thorpe, Don Philly, Frank, Spark One, Jan Wynn, True, Ja, all the people up dictionary, Dre, Blue Haze. Hey, Star. Uh, everything good, Ram Richard. Everything good. Groovy man. Groovy man. I love that, Ram Richard. I'm gonna start to be groovy. Okay, you can hear me good and everything. Okay, good. I've been playing with this damn mic to get it. Jay West, what's up? To get it out of the way and where it needs to be. Whoops. Getting everything where it needs to be. Today's strain here on the first church of holy shit. 50/50 OG Kush and Mullen. Which is what I've been easing myself back into the cannabis lane with. So we're gonna be smoking on that today. How y'all like my sign? Shout out to my sister-in-law and my nieces. Pick me up a sign or say I'm on the goddamn air. Mm-hmm.
Look at the last.
Mm-hmm.
Look at the last text I sent.
Okay.
It's when it says if Michael Jackson and Prince was in the studio together. It
Okay.
was fucking hilarious.
Check it out. My house is full of beautiful ladies at the moment. It's a great way to live if you can. I highly suggest it. Yeah, I had to kill them little chips and little salad right there. But yeah, I'm easing back into the lane, people. I'm getting back on it. Glad to have you here. Tell some more people about what the hell is going on. We're going to get started in just a second. Let me know if there's anyone amongst our cast of usuals that is new. New people. Welcome, welcome, welcome. I want to know if you're here. I want you to advance to be recognized so that I can send you a special puff up. So if you're new, put a P2B in the chat. Oh, you say you hear an echo? Does anybody else hear an echo? Are you picking up an echo? Yeah, let me know if you hear an echo, people. I don't think. Okay, Frank White says no. Oh, you're back. Okay, thank you. Don't buck with me now. I've been trying to buck with this shit, make it sound right forever. Anyway, here at the First Church of Holy Shit, we like to and shout out to my man Zero. We like to start off by dealing with the purpose of the First Church, because shoe booty ass ministers made me necessary. Thank you, sir. The First Church started because somebody fucked up and told me God was everywhere. So I pray from right here. Save me 10%. I never miss a game, I like to say. And then I like to thank you for saving 10% on your soul insurance by switching to Don't Go. And come in here. Dear people who believe that God counts he counts church visits with regard to your blessings. If you believe God counts church visits, this counts as a church visit if you do two things that you take away from this, and B, if you tell two people about this. Tell two people. Do two things and tell two people, and God counts this as a church visit. And you can put that right on along with any church visits that you may have made right after you committed adultery. You went to church high or drunk, or just beat your wife, or just lied on your husband or killed somebody. And I know you count those as full counts of going to church. So if you come here and just do two things, do two things you see here and tell two people, this counts as a church visit. I like that. I'm gonna keep that. Working on the First Church of Holy Shit merchandise, hoodies, sweaters, coffee mugs. Put a P21 in the chat if you would buy a hoodie or a coffee mug, a First Church coffee mug, that had some something real controversial right here, like a couple of words, you know, some of that controversial shit I say that I could say in like 2-3 words, and then on the back a full explanation that could start up a conversation. Well, very, very soon I will have merchandise for y'all to buy to support my get down. I mean, it'd be great if it changed my tax bracket, but I doubt it. Just to yeah. Now all my shit's gonna be whatever the top quality is. I'm gonna tell you that right now. I'm high minded. Whatever the best quality is I can bring to it, I'm gonna bring. That light is funky. That light is wrong. Don't the light looks just cutting across me weird. Okay, hold on. Let me fix the light, people. I'm coming. God damn it. Is that how it used to be? There we go. That's better. I know who's been fucking around in here. Anyway, yes. I'm just working on now. Come on, focus. Focus, camera. You can do it, camera. You can do it. Cheap ass camera. There you go. Okay. Dope ass shit. I'm only going with dope. If I sell a hoodie, it might cost more than other hoodies, but when you put it on, you'll know why. Because I'm gonna get the best fucking hoodies available to put my shit. Yeah, I'll do a hoodie for sure. All right. Yeah. All right, Joshua. I'm talking about it ain't gonna be that bullshit. My hoodies, I want them to be so dope that you think about dry cleaning them. So, yeah. Giraffe balls, peace pipes. That ain't the worst idea in the world, Ramrick. Yeah, I get mugs. I'm gonna have a little higher dollar. I'll tell you right now, because I'm gonna go find the real good shit for the hoodie, and then bright color like this, like bright, like dope shit. So yes, coming soon, coming very soon. Wait, yeah, mug ball. Well, how about that? How about that? Mug ball. Yeah, I'll cut you in on a little action. You got to do more than that. You got to do more than that. You gonna have to you gonna have to design the shit or something. Yeah, mug ball. I have a couple of those, Johnny. But hey, I'm not greedy. Anyway, today's show, and we're gonna hop into it after this prayer. Okay. First we pray, then we smoke. Almost up to until we choke. Because if you buy the good shit, choking's not necessary. I'm not into having to choke myself out. For what? All that coughing and fuck all that. Just smoke more weed. Now, bow your heathen ass heads. Creator, giver of all things, Father, Mother, God, universe, ancestors, I thank you for this day. I thank you for this opportunity to talk to my homies, my nephews, and my nieces about energies and forces and light that just may make their days better and their lives better and their friends better and their finances better and their relationships better and their jobs better and their pursuits better. Just, I thank you for me hopefully making things better for people. That's what we hear about. We're here to get better, to look deeper inside ourselves and one another and root out the bullshit that may be there. Root out that elementary slave ass nonsense that had our people all bound up. Root out all that negativity that can't do it, that shouldn't have been, that won't do. To root all of that out and bring forth can do, will do. We are enough. We have enough belief. We have enough skill. We have enough melanin. We have enough experience. We have enough energy. We have enough capital. When we get together and align ourselves behind our purposes, which is a big step toward aligning ourselves behind yours. I thank you for this time. I thank you for this opportunity. Open our minds and send me a troll. I ain't had one in a while. There's never one without a lesson. But above all, don't let me get in the way of any of the shit you got for them. In the name of my creator, my ancestors, and a God whose name I know not. It is so. Can I get a nigga amen? As we smoke. Yeah. If the hoodie had brown and yellow like a giraffe, if the hoodie had brown and yellow like a giraffe. Okay. I can see that. I can see that. Yeah. Okay. Well, we gonna have that on deck. Okay. Yeah, we gonna bring that in, and then we gonna put him right. Let's see. Do we want that? No. We want theater mode. So we're good there. Yeah. 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 Now, Zero. I'm gonna play Undone Funk under Noriega speaking to George Clinton at Uncle Jeff's weed speed. Should that be enough for me to get into the fair use category? Let me know. Answer. Oh, did you see the Ram Richards jumping ahead of me? Did you see this Ram, did you see this interview? Wasn't this interview the unadulterated shit? Okay, let me set this up by first saying who George Clinton is to me. Okay. In Cousin Annis in the past, All of y'all in here done heard these little raggedy ass beats. Thank you, Zero. All of y'all done heard these little funky ass beats I do. And that I'm placing music in television and movies. Y'all know that. Okay. I have not to this moment given the respect due with regard to inspiration of George Clinton. You listen to my music, George Clinton is all up and through. Him, Barry White, George Clinton, Quincy Jones, Marvin Yancey. That's my Mount Rushmore, I have to say. Now, I need two, because that's R&B. For hip hop, if I'm allowed to separate them, that makes it a lot easier. Quick, Battle Cat, Dre, Hank Shockley. Yeah. Oop, James Broadway. He beat Hank Shockley for me. I have two Mount Rushmores. I think I'm gonna have those paintings done. I'm gonna have those done in my studio. And George Clinton is without question one of those people who you know how I've said often before, you may have even heard this. Nobody knows what music would sound like if James Brown said, fuck it, this shit's too hard. He's one of those people that if you pull him out of music, we don't know how it sounds. Muddy Waters, James Brown, Quincy Jones, George Clinton. If you pull those four people, you can have R&B, jazz, blues, funk. You can have all of those without a bunch of people. You cannot have those without the people I just mentioned. You cannot. Okay, a grandmaster of, but not an architect of, is Prince. Prince didn't invent anything. He was just so fucking good at everything that he is my favorite artist. Above James Brown, who is next. You don't have music. You do not have the funk at all. Throwing them jazz chords in on funky ass James Brown shit. That's George Clinton, bro. Monster architect. Gets all praise for being a genius, a survivor of his own demons, a survivor of the music industry, a pioneer. He is all those things. Shit. I wish I had him as a guest on the show. I'm gonna try to get him. Here's my George Clinton story. Sinbad Soul Music Festival, 1998. It's either 7 or 8. It was 8. and I was doing some backstage stuff, and I got to interview him, and I got we were done with the interview, and he was taking a nap in his dressing room. He was passed out, just out in there. But he didn't. Don't let me lie on him, man. He didn't look passed out. He was knocked out. He was tired. He was taking a nap. The Gap Band was on right before him. Right before Parliament Funkadelic, it was the Gap Band. When I tell you, the Gap Band had these people in a funky fever pitch after a good 90 minutes of Charlie Wilson. They were on fire. They was about to come off. And some people went and got George for him to see what was going on the show and how hot it was going. And they was looking like with their eyes big as baseballs, like they didn't know what to do. Because this show was hot. George wanders out, looks backstage. Looking from backstage. He starts nodding his head, getting into it. We're going to open with endangered species. Everybody went, oh, okay. I didn't know what that meant. Endangered species is not Bob Gun. I know they say it together, but the Bob Gun part of the song is its own. I wish I could play it right now. It's its own funky shit. Then you get to the endangered species part, where the band just chants over and over endangered species. He opens up with Bob Gun. Bob Gun! Defend yourself! Oh, this funky as shit. Just if you've never heard Bob Gun, look it up. Don't. God bless you if today is your first experience with George Clinton. Just funky, funky, funky. And then it goes into this endangered species. Parliament, the Gap Band. The audience was begging for a curtain call, but HBO was shooting. So we was on a time limit. They couldn't do an encore. George had to go up. They cheered for him when he came out. Niggas. George Clinton hit Bob Gun for a hot 30 seconds and went straight into endangered species. He said endangered species for about 20 minutes. At the 3-minute mark, nobody remembered the Gap Band. These people were in a fucking trance. It was amazing. Give me goosebumps. Think about it. I mean, a funk. Endangered species. Imagine thousands of people doing this with him in the front, just leading it for 20 minutes. Dude, transformative experience to have experienced that right here. It's unbelievable. Dude is Dude is unreal. Youch Fabrication Unlimited. Are you so wrong? You are so wrong. James wrote and produced just about everything you heard. James, a hell of a songwriter, man. Come on now. Yeah. So, without further ado, y'all check this out.
For people that's been living under a rock, describe to people what the mothership is.
Okay. I did that out of order. Now, number one, got to put them at Uncle Jeff's weed speed. Okay. Then we gonna back them up just a little to about right there. Then, so that zero, I don't have to hit this nigga mouth. I must remember. Yes, you hear this track here I'm about to play. That's one of the things I don't like about this song here. I said, okay, if I was working with Prince and George Clinton and they asked me to come in with something, what would I come in with? And it would be this. Now, I don't like how when you first put music on in StreamYard, it slows down. I can't stand that. And I wanted you to hear this start the right way. Funk. Now, I'm going to play this music under George Clinton, which I do believe should cover me. Contractually. Y'all let me know if this has the audio. Okay, here we go. Now, y'all dig this.
To tell you about these contracts and tell you about publishing. Not
from the R&B side of it.
Really?
No, it was always
for people that's been living under a rock.
Here we go.
Describe to people what the mothership is.
Oh, the mothership is our mythological vehicle that brought us here from the planet Sirius.
I like Sirius.
It's called the Dog Star.
The Dog Star.
You heard the Dogon people?
Mm-hmm.
African. Well, our myth is that it came in and brought the funk here. You know,
to the planet, to teach the planet to
teach the plant how to dance.
Yes.
How to dance underwater and not get wet.
Oh.
How to be able to dance between the molecules of water with that takes such rhythm that you can get out of the way within water. Woo! Between the molecular structure of, things, that's the rhythm it takes to survive in this world.
Wow. Wow. Okay. Now, with the music where it is now, is this too loud? Y'all let me know before I get started. I'm just going to talk. About what Brother George said. Man, Johnny West, not only does he get it. Okay, Spark One, so the music's not too loud right now. Trying to decide what I'm gonna do with this one. Yeah, I thought it was loud. Yeah, okay. We'll let it simmer right there. Not only does he get it, bruh, he gave it years ago. If you listen to the lyrics of George Clinton's songs, they are deep and militant and real and honest and as poignant now as they were in 1975. And as a matter of fact, more so now. Because back in the day, if you tapped into George on a higher level, the common man vibrated on such a low frequency that you were the freak. You were the freak. Oh, you one of them niggas didn't fucking around on that George Clinton shit. You on that George Clinton shit. Oh yeah, he out there on that bullshit. Yeah, that nigga been smoking too much weed. That was a group of people that already saw now being shunned by a great mass of people who couldn't see past the fucking weekend. Flash forward to now. Funk being a rhythm that puts you in such a rhythm with the universe that you can dance underwater and not get wet. Not get wet. Yeah, I think this gonna be the theme music for Nerd Fight. That you could dance underwater and not get wet. That you could either dance to a rhythm that pushed it away, or one that let you make your way through the very molecules of hydrogen and oxygen. In such a dance that they either went through you and nourished you on the way through, or that you were so universally covered in the rhythm of the Most High that the water was only around you. Think about that. How you must live your life. How Tony Mack, you got to live your life under the water of scrutiny and know it so well. Metaphysically underwater of scrutiny, because from time to time you will be underwater with regard to scrutiny. You will be so under scrutiny that if you cannot separate the hydrogen from the oxygen, the hydrogen being the highly flammable and really unusable unless you decide to use it as a tool, part of the scrutiny, as in the tool being turn some sort of retribution or rage toward the heads of those who scrutinize you, or the oxygen from the metaphysical water broken down by your groove to get to what you can use, the oxygen of scrutiny. What would that be? Well, Johnny West, I tell you. Johnny West, I tell you, the oxygen of scrutiny is the truth. When people scrutinize you, be them haters or not, what are they right about? That's the oxygen in it. The rest is hydrogen. You let that shit go. You take that oxygen, then you can dance under that water and not get wet. Get your mind wet up and confused. Get your vision wet up and confused because of what you think people think of you, which, by the way, what other people think of you is none of your fucking business. Okay, here's what you tuned in for. And it ain't none of your business what other people think of you. But being underwater of scrutiny, if you cannot separate the hydrogen from the oxygen, what happens when you are under the water of finance? And you got way more month than you got money. And the bills are the water. We're going to cut your shit off. We're going to take your car back. We're going to fuck your credit up. Them three things right there are not about now. You're going to have to take some sacrifice, some smart thinking to fix now, depending upon how fucked up you did before. That's real talk. What you owe now is not about right now. What you owe now is about what you thought then. Ladies and gentlemen, the big dog. I don't stop the show. I don't stop the sermon for many folks. But I hope you can stick around for when I open the doors of the church. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm gonna have to get him to cook me some vegetarian, because I don't eat no meat. But if you eat meat and you in LA, you gotta look this dude up. I don't eat meat. However, ladies and gentlemen, DJ extraordinaire, my man, my war vet, my road dog, my wingman, my ace, cat daddy in the house. If you didn't see it back in the day, oh my God, the show he used to put on, General Lee and my man Fred Lowe. Fred Leezy, what's going on, boy? That's my people right there. What's up with the Orange Crush? I don't want to buy it. I ain't got no room for it. Nigga, who am I fooling? I had a 65 T-Bird and a goddamn 76 Jag and a 64 Triumph and a 90 Miata that I need to do. But I need to talk to you. Yeah, I need to still talk to you about a LS motor. I need an LS motor. Anyway, it's my man. That's my people. I got the same love for him when I see him. Couldn't believe you in here. I hope you stick around, man. Hope you stick around. Okay. Now you're underwater with your finances. What you own now is about back then. What did you overcommit to? What did you not foresee? Are you under the water of not being told that buying a new car is a good deal for everybody but you? Oh, it's a great deal for the car makers. It's a great deal for the advertising agencies. It's a great deal for the sponsors. It's a great deal for NASCAR. It's a great deal for ESPN. It's a great deal for the bank. Not you. Because you see your car is a depreciating liability. Which was set up to hustle you. See, here's the hustle. The bank's not in the cars. The bank's in the debt. So it's never a good deal for the bank if you buy a car that's worth what it's worth. Do you understand that the bank and the car company can't stay in business if they don't fuck you? They can't, in order to fuck you, ladies, I have to try to turn off the lights. In order to stay in business, they have to fuck you to keep on the lights. They have to fuck you to keep the lights on. If they don't, they go out of business. They have to sell you the car for more than it's worth in order to make a profit. The bank has to loan you more money than you need over more time than you need it in order to make a profit. Ding, ding. If you bought a car on monthly payments, you got fucked. The question is, how much? There's no such thing as a good deal on a car loan. There's less fucked and proper fucked. Now, there are reasons to get less fucked. Most of them have to do with time and patience, but there are a couple of reasons arguments I can make. Other than that, I cannot. You tell me the terms of your car loan, and I'll show you exactly how you got fucked. And I'll tell you that you're a fool if you don't take your entire income tax return and put it on your car note and tell the bank that this amount right here, Jan Win, this whole 4,000, 5,000, 6,000, Frank White, this whole 7,500, whatever I got back, put toward the principal of what I owe and not the interest. And pay your car off early. Do not pay your car off on schedule. You're a fool if you do. You're trying to catch up. You're trying to make up time to where depreciation and value catch one another so you're at least at zero. And hopefully you bought a car that'll last 20 years. And you have the patience to own a car for 20 years. And the smarts to buy another nice car, cash, if you smart with your cash, owning a nice car. Okay. My man Fred Loke, I'm going to tell a little his business right now. Fred Loke is the owner of one of the coldest elcos in LA, in California, and therefore in the United States, in my opinion. That's a driver. It's fucking... Fred, if you don't mind, put a link to where they can see pictures of the Orange Crush in your chat. One of the coldest fucking elcos I have ever seen, ever. Ever. An elco I have. One of them boxed up elcos? Yeah. I actually want one down on some saw blades, bro, with an LS in it. You know exactly what I'm talking about right now. Naturally a Nardi. Either Ford Ruby Red with the peanut butter interior or Murdered Out Black. Yeah, Murdered Out Black with the faces of with the saw blades painted flat black or satin black like the rest of the car, and then having the faces polished so just the blades was just down real hard. Anyway, yeah, that car is a beast, but it's his car. I'm pretty sure, I think it's an 87, is it, Fred? I'm pretty sure he has a pink slip. I'm pretty sure he doesn't owe the bank for this car. So if he wants to spend $0 on it for the next 5 years, he doesn't have to. And then he can turn around and spend $25,000 on it if he wants to, because it's his car. That's not the case when you buy the car. You don't buy a car. The bank buys you. When you let the bank buy you into one of these situations, you are now underwater. You already wet. The question is, do you have the courage to dance? Because you're going to have to dance. Because if you don't, you're going to drown. You're going to have to dance into the responsibility of what it is you put your name on the dotted line for. You're going to have to dance to the tune of not becoming just a consumer before it's too late. You're going to dance on making sure that your credit doesn't get any more fucked up than it is right now. Get on up here, Top Shelf. You're going to have to dance. Top Shelf, you're going to have to dance through having the humility to look into the face of a voluntary surrender versus a bankruptcy and what they both mean. You're going to have to deal with your financial malfeasance at some point. At some point, it's gonna come and hit you in the face. Now, if you don't wind up living outside, how you do that? It's your dance. But are you gonna make the same fuck ups? You're not gonna keep not drowning before you find yourself outside or in jail, because that's the way this game goes. When you gonna start playing the game to win? When are black people gonna stop playing defense? When are you gonna stop playing financial defense? How many times have I broke down here how to buy a nice car? How to start ridding yourself of these demons, these credit demons. Now, here's how you dance out of underwater and don't get wet. Oh, you're going to come in and explain that. You're going to spark one. You're going to, okay. Young man, young Jedi, you're going to come in and make sense out of that. Okay. This is good. The mushroom tea. Lion's mane and chaga. Very good for you. And tasty. Very good. I really like the taste anyway. Here's how you dance underwater and not get wet. Let me lay this pimp game down. Real tough about credit. Matter of fact, so tough that I'm gonna stop the music for just a minute. So we can edit this and get this cut up later. The people who tell you not to sign up for super high risk credit cards are wrong. They're wrong. I want you to sign up for every high risk credit card you can. Everyone. Until you have enough credit cards with no monthly fees. They can't have monthly fees. Those high risk, those high interest credit cards with the no monthly fees, get you a bunch of those. And then take 20% of each card. That's all the money you can spend. And you can only spend that to pay your bills. Because you was going to pay that money anyway. If it adds up to your cell phone bill, that's how you pay your cell phone. But you put that cell phone money aside. If it adds up to your cell phone and your car payment, okay, then your cell phone and your car payment, you pay with these cards. You don't pay with the cash. Then you put the cash over here and then nigga don't spend that fucking money. Then right before the bill is due, bam, you make the payments to the credit cards with the super high interest. You have paid no interest. Make sure they have no penalty for early payoff, and you have paid no interest. And your account shows monthly activity and paid satisfactory. That's how you dance underwater and don't get wet. And that's what George meant. Why, thank you, Jan. I try not to use the word genius because it makes other people feel bad. I just refer to myself as high functioning, but thank you. Now we can kick it right there. Damn, I came right in on what I needed to her. I was contemplating getting a couple more cards. Mark, get them, but do them. Don't. See, I hate that. What I was trying to do was bring that down. Mark, just do them like I said. Don't fuck up. It's a tightrope walk. You dancing on the water without getting wet. You feel me? Don't fuck it up. Just for the shit you was gonna pay anyway. Figure out how much gasoline you buy in a month. Buy all that gas on them cards and then pay that shit off. Now you done put them hoes on the stroll for you. It's real simple. But you're not supposed to think about it that way. Okay, Johnny. Here's your assignment, young Jedi. When I open the doors of the church, have me up on one tab, bring up another one. I'm expecting you to be the fucking expert on that. That right there. Johnny is about to tell us when we come back, when I open the doors of the church, Johnny West gonna come in here because he gonna bring up wherever he found that and he gonna cram that right now and he gonna knock y'all off something on getting one with points and living off the points of another. That's funky. All right? That's your assignment, young Jedi, so you accept. Know it. Know it. About 10:15, I'm gonna open them up. All right? You got to consider that because your famo is in need of help in the moment. Got to try new things. We already 3 months deep in a 12-month year. Time don't give a damn. Time to get top shelf. Okay. That is an excuse. Whatever you're under the water of, you got to try to dance and either not get wet or learn the lesson so you can stay dry. Yeah, top shelf. The coupon game gets harder the healthier you eat. Like, I eat trash every now and then. But it's about time for a cleanse. So I'll have potato chips, egg salad, because I'm a vegetarian. I'm a struggling vegan. I struggle. Coupons are generally for unhealthy shit. Just like the Vons card, the club card. That Vons, that club card that you get from wherever you shop, only saves you money on shit you shouldn't have. Look at the shit that you can get. You get garbage for cheap. They ain't giving you no coupons for the organic fruit. And B, they are making a database of your dry goods and bad shit. And paying you for it. They pay you to have a database of what's on your cabinets. That basically is what that's about. That's what it's always been about. So if I'm looking for somebody, I can pretty much go and look through your database and see how many tampons on a regular it can be cheap. You got to know where to go, Jan. Go to the farmer's market. Go downtown. Go to the Asian stores. God damn it, what was I just talking about? Somebody tell me what I was just talking about. One of you people wanted to take that. I was about to make a huge point. I'm going to be really pissed at you people if I have to look back myself and find this in the live, which I don't care. Fuck y'all. I'll do it right in front of you. I'll just... Where's my fucking phone? If somebody's not going to tell me what I was talking about. God damn it. I'll bring myself up. You niggas ain't shit. Before the flea markets, niggas. What was I talking about right before that? About how... Thank you, Jan Wynn. That Sprouts Life is not cheap. I was talking about the store making a database of what it is you eat and your dry goods, so that if they looking for somebody, they can tell you how many feminine sanitary products you buy over a given quarter, and if that goes up. These people are vegetarians. Why are they buying all this meat all of a sudden, or vice versa? Why the dietary changes? What is ASMR? What? Yes. Why are you buying this much more men's deodorant? And by how much? Let's divide by the number of people who normally stay at this house, their regular amount of food and dry goods usage by 4 of them, and we will make that the average for the house. And we will compare that average number to the number that has increased. Oh, bruh, that's somebody's formula. That just came to me. I don't have the time to think about this shit, but somebody does. And that's how they think about it. We're going to take that average by the number of people in the house and go, yeah, they are more than likely holding. It's going to get that funky. And this is what you have given away. You, me, us all. The point is, you're going to have to find a way. Because as a people, we are all under so much water. And we need to be helping each other right now. We need to be one another's best friends. Because we are all we have. I have no idea what that means, true. and it sounds filthy. Oh, you mean the mukbang? We're chewing? Okay, I think okay. Anyway. You trying to tell me there are people who get off to that? Okay, anyway. Back on the road. The yeah, Spliffs. Urban community gardens. We are all we have. We're already underwater. Those who learn how to dance without getting wet will be those who survive. Those who don't ain't gonna. Real talk. And that's some cold shit to say. But it is what it is. And the doors of the church is open. You can cut me monkey asses on in. And let's talk about it. Now, hopefully, if I did this right, I won't get the copyright strike with regard to Big Champs. But I think they were most appropriate, and shout out to them, and nothing but love to that show. I love that show. There we go. Sit tight, Spark One. Yeah, doors of the church is open, y'all. Come on in. Tell me I'm full of shit. Tell me I made sense. Come through. All right. Let me bring in my man, Spark One. Sit tight, Johnny West. Spark One, what's happening, man?
Hey, what's going on, man?
I don't know about you, but that's a good look we got right there with your graphics and my graphics.
Oh yeah, hey y'all, check out the SoundCloud. I know you can't click the link, but check that out. I got some new shit that I just posted over there.
Oh shit!
Last week.
So that's are you in StreamYard as well?
Nah. I got this app where I can overlay from my camera because I'm using my phone.
Oh, dig that. Okay.
Yeah, I put my symbol right over here. You know, the masked man, and I got the AI generated joint, my links right there, so y'all can see who I am. You know, the Jedi Warrior, the beat maker, and the audio engineer. You know what I'm saying? Okay, I see you. So in response to your thing about the tap movie, this is how you was talking about dancing underwater and not getting wet, and that's
yeah. Wait,
you just made me realize that's what that whole movie is about.
Okay, I need you to stop. Right there before you go any further. I am going to do this proper. Let me now do me a favor. Put your Instagram message in the chat.
Oh,
yeah, just type it in the chat.
My Instagram?
Yeah.
Hold on, I gotta reopen up the because when I'm in StreamYard, I gotta use a different browser.
Okay. Yeah, break your shit down, cause Just
But
so
the
I can
music,
get everybody their props. Hmm?
yeah, the music's all posted in my SoundCloud though. The link's right there in the right there in the
Okay.
You can get to my Instagram from there.
Okay. Well, fuck it then, man. Make it work. Do your thing.
So if y'all all go up there, you can go to my SoundCloud. That's soundcloud.com/spiz11. You know, and it's right there. But can we explain the tap situation?
Sure.
All right. So now when Gregory Hines got out of jail, right, he was fighting the dancing, right? And the more he fought the dancing is when the gangsters start coming around and telling him, hey, we got a job for you, right? But then he starts hearing the rhythm of the street that his father taught him how to get his sounds for his tapping for. And he starts dancing. And the more he started dancing, the less he started doing the bullshit and started hanging out upstairs and teaching the little boy how to tap. And the little boy was nasty too, who was from Boston, by the way. And that whole thing right there, like the more he danced, he was dancing underwater because he was under that pressure from just getting out of jail and having to do right. And the dancing is what led him to that rock and roll career that he ended up having at the end of the movie. So that's a perfect literal story of dancing underwater to not get wet. You know what I'm saying?
When I think about dancing and not get wet though, like when he talk about the Dogon tribe, you know, the Dogon tribe talks about us being in the firmament. So like what he's talking about is like the water up top, and like we're pretty much in water. So like they look at all this as being like, yeah, like oxygen, we're breathing in oxygen, we're really water people. That's why they're dressed up as fish. So that's how you move around this bitch without getting wet. You know, like that's why when I said a lot of people don't know what he's really talking about, it's esoteric knowledge that he's talking about. It's going over people's head. Yeah, like
okay, that makes a lot of sense because that would explain why in the ocean they found a lake.
Yeah, like we're we are literally walking through water without getting wet.
Water is a matter of density, but we don't perceive air as water because we walk through it. That's why birds really swim, they don't fly.
Exactly. See, like we got a super deep on it, but it get deeper than that. You get what I'm saying? Like a lot of people don't get it, but you know, it's all.
Nah, that makes perfect sense, actually.
Yeah, like when he was dropping knowledge, but you know.
I used to have a crackhead in the hood that used to say some shit like that, and we used to just kind of write it off, but the motherfucker really knew what he was talking about.
Hey man, I'm telling you, bro.
Okay.
Okay, we can hear you now.
Okay, y'all can hear me now. Okay.
Yeah.
Y'all okay? I was muted while I was telling y'all to shut up. Everybody, shut up. Okay. You don't pull your uncle's fucking mind. We got to go back. You got to go back to why are we not walking around in water right now? Go back to that.
Okay, we are walking around in water.
Yeah. Okay, I get it, but
the Dogon people, their belief is that like I'm not for sure all of their belief systems and shit like that, but I don't think I know is that's why they're dressed up as fish, because they believe that like where like the firmament up top is water and down below is water too, like the oceans and shit is water. So like we walk through this without getting wet. We walk through Earth without getting wet.
The difference between a gas and a liquid is merely density.
Yeah, you know, like, so that's when you start talking about the Dogon tribe, that's the first thing that came to mind with me. You get what I'm saying? So, but yeah, that's just what I got from it.
We may not be
because when you deal with frequency, you understand everything is frequency. Even when you move through this thing, everything vibrates at a certain frequency. So really all of this shit might be water. I really think God might be water too. You get what I'm saying? Like that, because everything needs water. Everything is 75% water.
To your water.
Well, I'm gonna bat that back. Okay. Water is everything here on Earth.
Mm-hmm.
In other parts of this huge galaxy, there are things that are just as important to those beings as air and water are to us, which are also made by the Most High. So I don't know, as a human, it's a bit much for me to say that the Creator may be made of water.
Just hear me out though.
Okay.
Just hear me out though, because even on those planets that they say might have held life, what do they find there?
Water. Ice.
So if they find all of those type of things there, wouldn't that be the life carrier? And the life carrier is what?
Water and energy.
Well, yeah.
With other, like, that's just the way that I looked at it. You know,
okay,
I could be totally
that's fair. No, that's fair. Before I can even comment on it, I have to research it, and I will. The thing that comes to me is that, again, these are places in the known universe. I don't know, and now I'm getting way off the road. I don't know if these things that we've been experiencing, all of them, are from known universes.
I don't even think we from this universe.
I think until we have yet to really understand the fourth dimension, you know what I'm saying, or fourth dimensional travel, that's when we'll be able to see other places and beings.
Be transformed by the renewing of your mind?
It's all about perspective, man.
Or maybe even a fifth dimension. You know what I'm saying? If that is the fourth. You know what I'm saying?
Sure.
I believe there's a dimensional travel that we have yet to travel, to discover, that other people are using, I don't know if people is the word, but other beings are using. You know what I'm saying?
I even find it weird that we can't even tell how the pyramids and stuff were built. And this was nothing but a couple thousand years ago, for real. So like, if this thing's on this earth that we really haven't mastered and understand,
I
will
say that there is understanding of them as much as we can know, but as the common public, we only get a fragment of that. Oh, they know something they ain't saying.
Oh,
they know a lot they're not saying. But even what they know is a fragment. Speaking of which, this is kind of fragmented from young Johnny West. I believe I said if you came in here, I was gonna need an assignment from you, sir. So
I dropped the link in the chat. I get a lot of my information on finances and stuff from Know Your Leisure. That's a very, very good podcast if you want to know anything about financial stuff. And I also took a course, a financial literacy course. It's Billy Carson. It's called I actually took one of his financial literacy classes. So I know a little bit when it comes to credit and stuff like that. Like I know how to write up 609 letters, know how to tell people how to get certain things off of the credit, stuff like that. You know, little stuff like that. But yeah, you can easily live from month to month just off of the points if you have a high limit card. But like a lot of people can't really attain the high limit cards. So first you have to really just get your credit to where it needs to be at. I say probably about a 7, really 580 for real. And then once your credit is up in like a 680, 680, 714s, 700, somewhere up in there, then it'll be easier for you to apply for some of these lines of credit and some of these credit cards where you will be able to use the points and stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? But a lot of these places like PNC, Wells Fargo, stuff like that, whenever you hear those cash back, when you get certain points back and stuff like that, all that stuff adds up. You can fly for free. My friend flies for free all the time. Matter of fact, he flew me out to Vegas off of just points that he had off of his it's off of points. So it's all about how you learn how to use your points. Once you learn how to use your points and stuff like that, man, you open up a totally different ball game out here. Credit is a totally different ball game. people think you just use credit to buy houses and cars and shit like that. No, you use credit for your life. For real,
Right.
for real. You
Right.
use their money, you don't use your money.
Exactly.
And that's how rich people get rich. And that's why we fucked up, because somebody told us, hey man, you know
Use
what?
our
You gotta
money.
work hard. Yeah, you gotta work hard. Don't use their money, save the money up and then first put your money in. No, for what? Like, no, you use them for what they're there for, you know. And that's why we're in the situation that we're in, because them white folks use that shit. You know, like they will most definitely go to the bank and they don't think about money the way you think about money. So
Okay.
yeah.
What was it? Was this your first exposure to the other way to look at money, Billy Carson? What led you to Billy Carson?
What led me to Billy Carson is all of my esoteric knowledge, man. Billy Carson pretty much broke down a lot of stuff about the Anunnaki and a lot of where a lot of the places in the Bible where they pretty much steal information from. Like the Bible pretty much is a mixtape of old texts and stuff like that.
Right.
And I found out all of the texts that they pretty much compiled and made the Bible from Billy Carson. And then
no. You're answering a very valid question.
Yeah, you
What?
the only reason why I'm moving so fast because I'm on my break. I'm trying
Okay.
to, you know, put it all in.
I'm trying to help you out. What
I
led
understand
you
that.
to Billy Carson?
Oh, what led me to him? Just the esoteric knowledge. Like the I'm more on the occult type knowledge.
Okay.
For real. So whenever okay. So like first it was Brother Rich on Brother Rich's channel. It's a channel called Black Magic 363. I found out about him through there, and then I started watching him all throughout all of his other stuff. So if you can, I recommend anybody watch Black Magic 363. Black Magic 363 is just like, it's one of those podcasts where any type of information, esoteric, you're trying to find out about, you're going to find out about it. But with that being said, fellas, I got to go.
Okay.
That's
not how it works, bro. Get the fuck out of here. Okay. Yes.
That's some dope knowledge.
That's what I'm talking about, man. I love young Jedis like that, man. Shout out to my man Johnny. Yeah, that's a good dude right there, Johnny West. Your homework coming up there, pimp. Now, Brother Spark, were you at your age and with what you're doing at your age and with what you're doing, meaning with music and your get down publicly, how did George Clinton affect? And you know, I ain't talking about the nigga posthumously. How does his work affect your music approach?
Okay. One of the first records that I found in my parents' catalog that I kind of sneak listened to and low key wore out, scratched up a couple of songs, but got my idea of what music is supposed to be was Uncle Jam Wants You. Right?
Mm-hmm.
Now, Knee Deep, Holly Wants to Go to California, you know, jams like that. You know, it's like, for me, when I want to like do a slow jam, it's always some kind of rendition of Holly Wants to Go to California. You know, like in my mind, how, you know, it's arranged. So, big influence. Just even the whole him and Ice Cube with the bop gun, and then me searching bop gun and finding the original bop gun and vibing out to that. You know what I'm saying? Like crazy. You know, that whole, I'm from the East Coast, so like Eric Sermon and them was doing that. And I don't know if you know this, but if you look on the album cover for Uncle Jam Wants You, there's a name for all the people who wrote in as fans. and Africa Bambaata's name is the first name on the list.
Oh wow.
So
Wow. I actually
I
heard that.
remember that from the album cover, and they mentioned that in the Drink Champs joint. So I was like, I hope he
Yeah.
mentions Africa Bambaata's on the cover, because I remember seeing that. I was like, is that the same Africa Bambaata? I was like, nah, it can't be, because
Right.
this is old. And I was like, it wasn't that much older. You know what I'm saying?
Right. Which makes it now, if you got a vinyl copy of that, I don't. I have the disc. I don't have the.
I mean, I got my vinyl collection back here, but it's probably in there somewhere.
Right. I need to bone up on my vinyl. Do you still buy it?
If I can find it. If I find it and it's a good price, sometimes you see people throwing a whole mess of it away. I try to pick through it and take what I can. You know, some of it be stuff I've had like triples of already. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Like I can't do any more Teddy Pendergrass. I've got like doubles of everything.
Right. Yeah. You got plenty Teddy.
I got plenty Teddy. Got plenty Barry. I don't know how many copies of the Together Brothers.
Okay. Now, do you DJ as well?
I used to a long time ago, like early 2000s and stuff like that. I used to run with a DJ crew out of Boston out here. It was Good Life Entertainment. Shout out to Val Beats. He's running New England Lights and Sound now.
Mm-hmm.
Great guy.
Now, on you guys end, what's up, Blue Haze? On you guys end, how is life looking? Just where you at, bro?
The funny thing is that the city's looking into a reparations payment, because they realize that through the way that things have been going and how lately they've had to have a task force to take down all those racist Irish signs that'll say like "Keep Boston Irish" and have all those little those symbols.
Oh my God.
And so now they've got task force to take them down, because people were putting them up at like public transit. Like public transit was their message. So there's a lot of that going on.
Wait a minute. You mean like a sign that takes tools to put up?
Yeah.
They wasn't just like spray painting a stencil.
No. Like a nylon sign that would take some zip cord and some string to secure. Yeah.
So they would have the time. You see where I'm going with this?
Yeah. Someone had to see this go down. Yeah.
Okay, keep going. I'm sorry. Keep going.
So now that they're taking all that stuff down, that's something that I see that's going on. But I mean, you see, we got this new Asian mayor, and she's trying to make it like a less racist Boston. I see her trying to make those steps. But I mean, when they built the South End, when there was this new development, and they were supposed to have this all-inclusive neighborhood there, never happened. I mean, your average apartment there is like $3,600 a month.
Well, here's the deal, man. The country is now divided up by cover charge.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely, and they're trying to price us out of the city.
Exactly.
It's ridiculous.
Now, you were saying that, especially living in Boston, you were saying earlier that you have a new Boston mayor that's trying to make the city look less racist because she's Asian. I think what a lot of people don't understand is that trying to make an area less racist is like trying to make a turd less shit in a particular area. That shit gonna have to die. It's gonna take another good 100-year cleansing of old thinking for that to die.
So I don't know if any of y'all are on Netflix. There's a series called Trial 4. Right now, this happened when I was a kid, and the crazy thing is I was at that plaza the same day, and I was scared shitless because the cops were questioning all people that were at that place at that day. They were going up and down the street, and that kid's family so happened to be murdered by a family member, and they ended up blaming him for a cop being murdered. And everybody in the city knows what happened to that cop, but the cop got murdered with his pants down at his ankle in front of a Walgreens at like 2 in the morning. And because of that, there weren't any more 24-hour Walgreens in the city for another 30 years.
Well,
but the way they railroaded that kid for that crime is crazy because it took him 24 years to fight it. He sat in prison for 24 years fighting that through 4 trials.
And more than likely, that cop got his brains blown out over some crooked shit he was in.
Oh, no one denied that. Everybody knew he was a dirty cop.
Okay.
Even the cops were saying he was a dirty cop.
So the shit he got shot in the head over was over the head of the man they accused it of. Is what I'm saying.
Yeah.
More than likely.
They arrested a man whose only crime that day was buying Pampers for his child and coming home to his family being murdered.
Wait a minute. He came home to his family being murdered.
Yeah. He came home and his sister and his cousin were murdered. And
why?
A family member came and killed him. Over something petty.
And he got accused of murder?
Yeah. And when they
that's a bad week.
Yeah. they tried to accuse him of that crime, but then the person who did it stepped forward and said, no, I did this because of whatever. I can't even remember the reason. And then that person went to jail, and then they blamed the police shooting on him.
Son of a bitch. And this was what year?
93.
See, this is why I don't understand. I don't get the allegiance, the faith in, the commitment to this system that Black people have. Especially if you ain't rich. Did I hear you there, Zero? What's happening, man?
What's up, bro? It's because they the allegiance comes from the hazing and the compromising you get from going through the hazing. Somebody got Polaroids, pictures, all kinds of stuff of people that have been trying to get in the fit in, you know what I'm saying? And people start by trying not to let those things get out, and then eventually you just a willing cog in the system, you know?
Right.
It's altruism is the thing about it. Altruism is decentralized. It doesn't have anything to do with the system. So pretty much anything that's like not using the system or not pimping the system for its benefit is not really, something to get involved with, or something that's like really promoting freedom, and it's like, I like what you said when you said, you gotta totally destroy that thing, and that's true. But a lot of people get scared because the first thing they think when you say you gotta destroy it, they think about armed revolution and all of that. And people have children and stuff. They don't want to go through those type of things.
Constructs can be destroyed by ideas.
Yeah, but that's what I was about to say, my brother. There are constructs. Decentralization is a construct that destroys centralized infrastructures, and the more you can get involved in those type of things, the more power you'll have, like decentralized finance, decentralized sustainable development, You know, it's a lot going on out here that you just gotta get plugged into to really fight the good fight, and fight it in a way that's feasible for now, and fight it in a way where your children are not gonna be like sacrificed and destroyed in like, you know, conflict and warfare. You know, there's a lot going on. You know, you just gotta get your mind right and not be scared of it. Most things that they train you to be fearful of are things that you should be involved with. That's just the facts.
Wow.
You know, AI. Oh my goodness, man. So many people are so scared of that and tripping off of that. And you know, you got to get ahead of these things.
I'm kind of welcome. It makes making beats so much easier.
Right, and they not understanding. Like, I'm a sci-fi fan, man. I like Star Trek. I like Star Wars and stuff like that. A lot of people are into that convenience and like want that type of convenience. They want that type of convenience in their cars, push button convenience, but they don't realize the stages you got to go through to get to that type of convenience, and the intelligence that you got to build yourself up on, how intelligent you got to get to put yourself ahead of the technology so that it's working for you and not against you. You know what I'm saying? Like, you can't cry because a warehouse job is going out of phase, or building a car is going out of phase. You just got to start gearing yourself to do the things where the economy is going to be way more intelligent. So it's like, it's going to be less labor because they have machines to do the labor, and a lot more intelligence. But that still doesn't mean that you can't be a worthy craftsperson, crafting the code and putting the information into the machines that are doing the labor. You know what I'm saying?
Right. When machines go down, somebody got to fix it.
Well,
yeah,
let's back this train up
Mhm.
just a bit to what you said about the advancement of the car and the conveniences that people have. I contend that there is never a convenience without a trade-off, and that there is never a take without a give. There's no
that's
free lunch.
Absolutely fact. That's why
So-
you got to get ahead of it and get yourself, you know, into the knowledge of what is really going on. You are absolutely
Well,
right
I
about that.
push back though from this place. I will always keep, and I'm looking for a diesel. I will always keep a gas operated car that does not have an electronic ignition. I will always keep thank you, baby.
I see where you're going with that one.
Yeah, I will always keep a landline.
I see where you're going with that.
I always, and it's not that I eschew digital, but there are certain things that
The
I
problem
don't-
now is that landlines are run by fiber optics, so that even that's digital.
Oh, don't get me wrong. I'm not saying don't keep it, but what you got to understand is that if it's all not interphased into the system, it becomes vintage. So it's cool. I like vintage stuff. You know what I'm saying? I love vintage stuff, especially having lived through those phases. But it's gonna come to a point where those vintage things aren't tied in to what will make you money or make you a living. You know, that they become more like collector's items or things that you cherish, or they might increase in value because the oddity of having something from antiquity. You understand? You got to just put everything in its right phase. Like having a gas running car, if we get to the point of where gas is so overpriced you can't afford it, because that's the first step. Then the next step is it gets phased out for the cheaper alternative. Everybody runs to the cheaper alternative.
Hey,
So
cities
you
are
can
already charging for bicycles.
you can see, yeah, you can see what they're doing already. Like this is structured. You know, this is, they call it social engineering. Everybody think this stuff is random, but everything that you involved with, ever since Eisenhower and them put the highways in place and started structuring what do you call it, subdivisions and stuff like that, you are socially engineered. You got to accept that. A 7-day work week, a 7-day work, a 5-day work week is social engineering.
Absolutely.
You know, so
There's traffic. There's
right.
traffic.
So all I'm saying is get ahead of it and understand what's going on so that you can see what the give and take is, what the new economies are. I'm not saying leave what you love alone, but I mean, what you love is what you love. And sometimes, you know, it may even get to the point of what you love won't even be operational on the road, won't even be allowed to be driven down the road.
Okay, that I see as a possibility. Absolutely.
A big possibility when you're looking at how they're engineering us toward getting off of the fuel. They're overpricing it, where only people who can afford vintage will be able to afford the fuel to put into the vintage.
Yeah, electric cars are getting cheaper and cheaper.
Like this is being tweaked and tuned. This is being operated. It's being moved into a place that unless like 100,000 you get together, put on some boots and start going to some kind of either revolutionary style ground war or technological resistance, is just going to keep on happening. Like talking about it won't stop it. It's in play. Right. You know, that's what's important. It's in play. It's happening now, and talking about it is really late because you're talking about what happened already. You understand? I remember when they was talking, they was talking about this when Geraldo was on TV and Donahue was on TV.
Right.
And now it's happening. You know, so it's you know, all I'm saying is like, you know, understand it. You know, understand what's actually going on and get ahead of it. It's something I've been working on like real hard lately, man, because tokenization. I'm figuring out how to take any asset that I have and put it behind a token, which gives that token value, and then I can sell that token to people that need it. So if I have 1,500 acres of land, right, and a company they're going over their yearly allotment in carbon credits, I have a carbon surplus just because I have land that's not conservation land, that's not being cut down. So rather than it just sitting there and not doing anything to me, there's ways that I can tokenize that land and sell those carbon credits to Microsoft, to Disney,
without
to companies
touching the land.
Yeah, well, because it's the carbon that they're buying. They're buying the carbon offset, which my land provides. So it's like a partnership.
So they're just buying math.
They're buying metric tons of carbon asset, and the value it becomes money because the carbon, because it saves them money.
So they're digging on your property.
No, hell no. You're not understanding what I'm saying.
Yeah, what's a carbon asset?
A carbon offset. Okay, so say that Disney is able, so Disney has a multi-million-dollar company. They run jets, they transport people back and forth, right?
Right.
But they're only given, let's say they're only given an allotment, let's use a small number, of 100 metric tons of carbon usage per year, right?
Right.
All of their operations might go into to 500 metric tons, right?
So you're selling
now what they have to do to save money or to get shit right is they got to go to people that have a surplus of carbon in their operations, give them money for their credits, and they transfer it where they're balancing things and where they don't have to pay like unusual tax levies and all of that type of shit for going over.
Okay.
Like it's really hard to understand because people don't really get what's going on and don't get the laws. That's why I said you got to get ahead of it, because
they pollute so much, a company like you that pollutes less, they buy the credits that you don't use.
Exactly. And me, I'm all everything I have in conservation land is like zero is my name because I try to run everything at zero net. That's my wealth-based strategy. I run everything at zero net, and I do that for a purpose so that there's surpluses, and I'm able to structures. I do zero technic structures, infrastructure.
Okay.
Like everything here is like, whereas like I got like a abundance of carbon credits and availability of those carbon credits. So like now, so this is the way it works, right? It's laid out, it's calculated, it's assessed at how many carbon credits that I have, right? Once it's assessed, I'm able to take those to an exchange, put them on the exchange, or this is the new thing I'm trying to do because I'm trying to cut the middleman out. I can tokenize those carbon credits myself and sell those tokens to the company. So say like carbon is like going for $30 USD per metric ton. You understand? I can tokenize my carbon credits and sell the tokens to the companies without a middleman in between us on the exchange. You understand?
Yes.
So that's so it's like, what I mean about getting ahead is like understanding what is becoming valuable now. Because there's a lot of things that you put value on are, it can be sentimental value, that's valid, but it's not market
Actual
value.
cash value.
It's not actual market or trade value that you can use to flip into greater possibilities. You understand what I'm saying? So it's like it's beautiful to love what you love. It's beautiful to, and antiquity and history is beautiful, man. I'm an antiquarian. I'm an indigenous man. I love biocultural science and biocultural heritage and exploring how it matters now. So I would never wipe that out and say that. But what I'm saying is, as far as money and trade and what is marketable in this day and time, you got to get ahead of the game to understand the trends and the shifts and what's going on. A lot of people, that it blows their mind about NFTs, but they don't understand it because they think it's just a picture, and it's not really a picture. It's the value. You understand? It represents something. It's a contract. And all of this new blockchain and Web3 stuff, these are immutable contracts now, where it's like you can't fuck a person over with these contracts.
Okay,
Immutable is where it's like it's more so where like it's programmed into the fabric of the deal.
Okay.
You understand?
Yeah.
So it's like once it's done, that is what it is. We agreed on it, and it's gonna go. We're not gonna have to chase a specific person down for this payment or that payment. It's gonna split and go where it needs to go instantaneously upon each transaction. So if we get into a deal where we say, hey, let's make this coin, and we're gonna split it 3 ways, and it's programmed into the contract, whoever buys that coin, it's gonna split however we split it. We can say some of it goes to a 10% tax to keep the organization running or the community running, some of it, and then the remainder is split into 3 pieces and automatically sent to each person's account. That's why all of these that's why they're telling you to get your children in coding and the languages that run the machines. Don't be afraid of the machines. Master the linguistics of the machine so that you can run the machine and be heavy into this game. And it's changing the face of countries, man. Pakistan was like, whew, a S-hole for the long time, but I mean, like now they on a huge come up with coding development. It's just all over the world. This is what's going on. This is actually something that Black people in the United States can use to save themselves, but they keep asking Jesus, Buddha, Muhammad, Zoroaster, whoever, this new cat with some knowledge, that new cat with some knowledge. You know, they keep trying to put a Jesus in front of them, and they got everything they need to be free right now if they understand the languages that are running the technology. And it's very simple like that. Like, it's like if your children, you got to get your children involved, you got to get your women involved, you got to get involved on whatever level you can, or where at least you in a network. If you don't actually do it, you're in a network with people who understand what's going on and can do it and can make the trades when shit is hot, and can, you know, make you a little money. Banking is pretty much doo-doo. If y'all ever notice right now, US dollar is so bad that it takes you, if you're trying to do a cash transfer, it takes like 3 to 10 days to actually get the cash into the account you're transferring it to.
What?
Like this is getting crazy, but people aren't really understanding what's going on. They just complaining, and they're like, hey, well, this is what's going on at the bank. And there's a reason. The reason is that the bottom is falling out of the dollar, and they don't want you to panic about it, because if you panic, you'll fuck their money up.
Right.
Because you'll make a run for the banks. That'll make you start doing revolutionary shit and blowing up and bombing stuff if you realize that people are playing with your money. So there's like psychological tactics is going on right now, and you're gonna see it's gonna get harder and harder. You know what I'm saying? Even rich people can't draw out. I'm talking about wealthy people, rappers. You see videos all the time of them complaining about that the bank doesn't have the cash for them to withdraw 100,000, 200,000, 300,000, which really ain't nothing when you're trying to do business transactions. And the funny thing is, like, why are you trying to pull that amount of cash out anyway, man? Keep the shit, you know, I don't know. I got a different mentality about shit, man. Keep the shit digital and fly the shit over. Keep it crypto, fly it over. You know what I'm saying? But people, I don't know.
Get it out of dollars.
Yeah, because they're weird because they don't understand what's going on. If it's in crypto, it's making money. If it's in digital and it has a interest rate, it's tied to some type of interest rate or something, you're making money. Like, but people are so enamored with paper that they don't even understand. Even if you wanted to have a physical thing, do gold and silver. You know what I'm saying? Like, don't be tripping off of, you know what I'm saying, these dollars, because they're losing value like quickly. You know, right. I know that. I deal with a lot of Africans, and the US dollar used to have
you used to walk around with a grenade in your pocket if you had an American dollar.
That shit is changing, bro. It's changing. You know what I'm saying? And it's like some people are on it, and some people aren't. And we kind of at the stage of evolution where if you're not getting in on certain things, you're gonna be left behind, and you're just gonna be crying about why you can't get the forklift anymore or whatever.
So that's what I wanted to talk about or ask, because it's like, so when touched on, there's a consequence for all this so-called progress that's going on.
Well, it happened. It's actually 30 years ago, though.
Right. No, I'm with you. I agree up until I'm just saying, like, all right. So if you looking at it like, there's already useless eaters now. So if there's already not what they call useless eaters, people that just, all I can do is be a janitor because I ain't good at nothing else. those people and the like have what if when we keep progressing the way we progressing. When everything turns digital and everything is and we let it, because that's what it really is. It's not that they just trying to do it. We're letting it do that, right? So when we let it go full blow Terminator, then what?
Well, it's done. It's already full blown Terminator. You man, it's like it's already full blown Terminator. That's the whole mix of it, man. I used to run these videos on my page about MK Ultra mind control over and over. People be like, why are you running these videos, man? Because I want you to see how the very advertising that you've been subjected to for the past 30, 40, 50 years, from when it was like TV, latchkey children, to now, is all been a mental MK Ultra mind
situation.
To put you in a position of where you accept being a useless eater and you start eating each other. And that's what happens now. That's what's happening. We killing each other. We destroying each other.
Well, I mean, that's a natural progression. When you ain't got nothing, you gonna start doing whatever you can. But
that too.
Like, have you seen either one of y'all seen Electric Dreams at all? It's it was a show that only had 10 episodes. It's on the Prime, and it's 2 episodes that are very interesting. One is called Kill All Others, and another episode is number 6. I forget what the name is, but basically, in number 6, whatever that episode is, it's an episode where most of America has went digital, and they're everything. The kids have to have a certain ID to get into the school, or you get patted down a certain way that's real uncomfortable. They make you feel like you're an unsafe person. It's a bunch of third degree, basically, if you don't. If it's a bunch of dog training if you don't comply with whatever the regulations is, and they constantly bash and make the people that didn't do it into terrorists. They constantly talking about them through the episode, and the episode progresses and all of that, and you just see that it's told from a standpoint of a girl. That family comes from an analog life, and they're trying to. The mother is trying to be a politician and speak on behalf of the analog people, and so she gets like a year pass inside the digital city. So she's fighting the system her way, and the daughter just is just now finding out that the people in the digital, how the people in the digital cities feel about the analog people, and it's a real fucked up thing. Like, long story short, it's fucked up.
Put the name in the chat. Okay.
And the other one is Kill All Humans, Kill All Others. So, in KOA, they're basically, they dog train people in the calling people others, which is the same thing they do now. It's just a little bit ahead. Like, it's a generation or two from right now. So we're used to freedom of speech, and the kids are going to get used to are going to have people used to trying to censor their thoughts so they don't say what they think. It's that generation. So they're grown, and now the government does what they want to do, and they basically instate a program during an election that goes, well, if they are other, smoke them. It's okay to kill them. And how they instituted and everything like that is dope. That one's told from a man's perspective, a man's perspective that had a father and looked up to like his grandfather.
Can I respond to the scenarios that you brought up?
Yes, yes, sir.
So check it. All right. One is it's a reason why they put out fearful scenarios. One, there's another reason why they put out scenarios that work in their favor. I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about, see, Black Power is control of Black information. All right. Now you
Help
don't.
me control. Hold on, wait a minute. It's not even about black information. It's about information, period. Because
Well, it's about information, period. But I want to come from, since we all share this common rubric. I want to speak on this real quick on why it's important in this aspect, right? So you have you have Malcolm X, right? Now I remember people of my age and Brother Jeff's age probably remember when the Malcolm X book was first being published and how different it was as opposed to the copies that you get today. You understand? Malcolm X was a man. He went from a man to a symbol. Do you understand? And a symbol in the bad way, because it's a symbol that we don't control. We don't control the information that's being put out about our heroes, the people that pertain to us. You know, the only reason it's being put out now is because they perceive value in it now. There's a demand, and now more Simon and Schuster and publishers are getting behind certain works that they wouldn't even touch before. So we had a thriving culture of Black publishing, Black newspapers, Black information. Now BET, because we spoke about that a couple weeks ago, was supposed to be that, but that was false. That was a Trojan horse. That was some bullshit.
Once he sold it, it was
you
gone.
understand? Not even once he
that was
sold
before
it.
he sold
It was some bullshit from day one, because it was marketed to be sold. It wasn't marketed to inform Black people. We had actual papers, from centuries old papers, man, that was built to inform Black people of business, culture. You get what I'm saying? Like that interweb Black people about what's going on in the economy. I'm talking about from the 1800s. You understand what I'm saying? And all of that was lost to the bullshit of we just want to see more Black faces on TV. And that's it. What about the Black information? You understand? Because now you got a bunch of Black faces and ain't none of them no good. You understand? Right. Look at Gabrielle Union. Look at all of these different people and the shit that they're promoting and the bullshit that, you know, our children have been raised up on. We've been raised up on, the warm-heartedness we got toward enemies in the media industry because they made us laugh in a movie or whatever. And they when you meet them in person, they totally different. The most masculine dude on the screen is sweet. You understand what I'm saying? And about everything you against. So that's why I'm using that example of Black information and Black power. Now I want to go back to these examples that he was putting forward, because the commonality in those examples is that they're showing you what they want to do, and they're trying to make you fearful of the whole interaction. And what I'm telling you is that if you are ahead of it and you understand the science, you understand the magic, you understand what I'm saying? You have nothing to fear, because now you can create programmable machine learning. At this stage, if you understand the language, you can create your own chat GPTs and machine learning AIs that will help you, that will forward what it is that you trying to put forward. It's the most powerful thing that you can be involved with right now, because you can create money, you can create language, you can create culture, and you can disseminate it faster than the speed of light.
Right. So I'm not saying there's not. Okay. So
what I'm saying is that's their reality. That's what I'm saying.
Well, but that's all I'm saying. Right. Now, on this side of the rock, that's what's going to happen, because these people aren't the most fightery type. They're to convenience. So the reality of what they showing them and pre-programmed to them already is what it is. Like they already, like you said, it's already there. What I'm saying is, if we, you would have to leave. Like, the answer to the question is you would have to leave, but it's like, you don't control your culture over here, so you don't control the information.
Well, check it.
Making stuff digital. Right, so unless there's a separate internet, like how unless you're gonna put a firewall to where this whole part of whatever controls the culture.
Everything you're doing in our aquarium.
Well, but that's what I want to say.
You can't even deal with them people. Like, your internet and their internet can't be the same. We can't even connect to them because it's.
Hold on. Let me say, you are correct, but I have to tell you this: there are stages and things that you have to be putting in effect now to get to that point. Trying to just jump from where it is now to get to that point. Now, I will tell you this. In my world, I don't deal with them people a lot. You understand? Like, I don't deal with it on that level. As a matter of fact, a lot of the reason why this thing, it's not blowing up as big and multi-billion as Amazon and all of those type of things. One is because I'm an ecocentrist and I'm against those models. Two, because decentralization is power. So I'm trying to crack up the system that's already in effect and fracture it into as many pieces as possible and just have those pieces doing their own thing. You understand? That's my mission. That's my methodology. What I'm trying to tell you is the MK Ultra mindfuckers, they have you believing that they own the block and they don't yet.
Well,
so they got to make you believe it. They got to make you believe it. You know what I'm saying? See, like Africa, figure this out. Like, America's been advanced over Africa for some time, but you got dudes in Nigeria that's making feasible cars, electrical cars, who just started less than 15, 20 years ago. I mean, marketable cars. Their cars
the dude that's pulling power out of radio frequencies.
That's what I'm saying.
Like, so that's what I'm saying. From a certain standpoint,
have you seen Rwanda?
He's no longer with us.
Have you seen Rwanda?
Nah, they killed him.
He's no longer with us, brother.
They killed him. They got him.
He is no longer with us.
They got him because he was fucking around with them.
Yeah,
but let me say it to you.
They don't want you doing that.
Now listen.
But he's dead.
Yeah, he's gone.
That's their weakness too. Their weakness is that they're going through it now and they're understanding that they think that a big part of colonization is, like you said, running it back to them. But their whole organizations, man, are where they're not even really dealing with those people in that manner, man. Like, there's a whole infrastructure. To explain it to you more easily is that what you're talking about is centralization. One centralized character, king, person, family, ruling family or whatever, running everything. What technology is now, especially block 3 and blockchain and web 3, is decentralization. It means that you're able to control as much dollars and create instantaneous systems in small decentralized units.
So is that
whereas like you don't have to have 100,000 people backing you for it to do well.
So that's
see the NFT. Yeah, the NFT shit is you gotta look at it, y'all. Y'all gotta really look at it because you got small groups of people making billions and hundreds and millions of dollars. And it's just small groups of people putting forward pictures. Now, all that's showing is that the model works, right? That whatever you put a value to, and you create a cult or organization of people that value it, you can sell it to them. You understand? Now, the mistakes is when you think, I gotta go to these people for that shit to be feasible. I gotta go into their system for it to be feasible for me to make money, and that's not what it is. It doesn't work like that at all, man. farming is like what our people mastered, and you can farm anything. You can farm digital assets. You get what I'm saying? Like farming is just growing something that's of value and selling it to people who see the value in it. You understand? And it's easier to do in the digital plane than it is in the physical world, because you can do it from zero.
But how do you acquire that kind of digital
And that's
real estate and stuff like that? How do you get that?
Well, it's not about just acquiring it. You gotta build it. You gotta make the value, and you gotta take everything you do that is valuable, and then create an infrastructure around what you are doing. It's like my friend Buckshot Shorty, right?
You ever played a game?
Shorty got a digital record label, an NFT record label. You understand? You think that he's dead and he's a washed up rapper, but he's making dope money from a digital NFT record label.
Well, I want to explain to him what you're saying. Like, so what Zero is saying is when you start a war, the first thing you got to think about is how you go feeding the people.
Mm-hmm.
Like the first thing. So like I know I'm having conversations where I'm skipping parts, but I'm like, the first thing you answered me with is basically it. How we gonna eat? Why we separate?
That's the most important thing.
You know
food, clothing, shelter. Food, clothing, and shelter are the most important things, because if that overhead is covered, you can do anything.
Right.
That's what's
and over
most
here,
important.
the problem that we keep running into, as I say, on this side of the rock, there ain't no win over here, because it is too many people not really ready to go and separate. They just
over
don't,
there,
they just know it.
Old head taught me some dope shit over there. He said, like, yo, when you start getting into this land game, buy unincorporated land. Don't buy land in incorporated jurisdictions. And I started doing that, and I crushed. You understand what I'm saying? Like, there was some places that I owned that didn't even have a township at the time. And I had to figure out in those economies. So the things I had to figure out is, what could I tailor to those economies? So one of the things I tailored in Florida, in North Florida, was a deer hunting and hog hunting grounds. 50-acre deer hunting and hog hunting grounds.
And
where they can come and hunt.
Hogs are a nuisance animal, so the state will be happy to let you do that.
Exactly. So you get like different subsidies and cuts on that level. Even with the deer, you understand what I'm saying? And you bringing in people, because one of the things I had to figure out how to do is, all right, I had to figure out how to spend the time to motivate our people to spending with me. But while I was doing that, because that's a long one, I had to figure out how to instantly get the money from the people that have money. So I had to go and look in the databases and see what it is that they love down there and what it is that they was about. And that's what I did. And it didn't take me nothing, because I was in an unincorporated place where on over 100 acres land, I was paying less than $100 taxes a year. See, if you in like these places where they depend on the municipal technology, the fire station, the police, this and that, if they're dependent on all that themselves, you're gonna pay for that. So your tax bill for no land is gonna be $3,000, $4,000, $5,000 a year. And that's what happens to a lot of our people. They get caught up in that congestion, because I was in that game too, where I used to go to the courthouse and buy those properties off the courthouse steps and flip them.
And what was the problem with that?
Well, it's people are losing their properties because they can't pay the taxes. So they think, my mama owned this, I own it, and they ain't paying taxes for 5-10 years, and it gets snatched right from under them. You understand? And all I got to do is pay. And it's not really excruciating taxes when you compare it to what it would cost to buy the same kind of property outright. So, I would be able to slide in and get a property for like, man, a fraction of the value from the courthouse step with the deed in hand, and that day have it appraised and be able to leverage that appraisal
against a loan
of that asset toward some cash that I can invest in somebody else's cash that I can invest in another project.
Y'all see that y'all didn't read my comment. I seen I didn't put it in there. I said we need to be talking about this trip to Belize. We need to be taking because this is go ahead and get on out that way because I'm one of them people where it's like I don't know how to make money. I just know everything else is a bill. So it's my folks, they be looking up land, right? So like we just seen, what did she show me? Some foreclosed land where it was like
get ahead of it first.
I'm just saying how they did it, like what just happened to me. You know what I'm saying? Like 2 days ago. So I'm over there, we talking, they was like, yeah, I just found 49 acres for $20,000. And I'm like, what you gonna do with it? I don't know, but it's gonna be gone soon. I'm like, well, if it's gonna be gone soon, you get it. It just sounds like a bill.
Can I tell you what I do with it? What I would do with it? If it had trees on it, I would get it. And what I would do, depending on what it had and the resources,
I'm gonna tell you, I can see this how simple this is because I've seen it. So it's in the desert. It's in the desert.
Okay.
So it might have it got some water somewhere because I know, but it ain't no trees, it ain't no forest. It's desert.
Oh nah.
And it's a local town somewhere, but it's like I'm like that just sounds like a bill.
Now you know how that could be value though. That could be a portfolio hit. You know what I'm saying?
We don't know nothing about that to tell you.
Now I tell you what that is. Like certain things that you can't use and flip the resources for your benefit instantaneously. Go toward. You can put it towards your overall portfolio. That's everything that you got in your holdings for whatever company you buying it with. You understand what I'm saying? So it's like so sometimes with places like that, you catch them because stuff like that back in the day. If she's saying 20,000, I remember back in the day in some same area like that, like Pueblo, Colorado. They used to be on TV advertising and shit. You can get like those kind of holdings for like $5,000 from the U.S. government, deed in hand. You know what I'm saying? And like now that stuff is of value. It's as valuable as a bond.
Scam back in the day.
You know what I mean? Like that shit is. It's like some things you let sit and accrue value, and you know, and kind of use it in your overall portfolio. And some stuff is like so rich and luxurious. I like tropical areas. I like the areas where people don't like to go because it's a lot of animals, because I know that it's easy to grow food. It's easy to cut my overhead to zero. If I can do that in any endeavor I can do, if I can cut my overhead to zero, then I'm gonna be the master.
Close.
I'm gonna be the master, dog.
What you are really
whatever it is I do.
What you are really discussing, honestly, is my entire way of being financially since I started stand up. It was just something that came natural to me because when I left my job at McDonnell Douglas and got fired from McDonnell Douglas, and I quit selling cars and working at LA Gear in a warehouse and bumping around to really do this. I didn't have money. So I had to find ways to live on the road. I had to find ways to live and get around. And once I saw the car game, I knew I wasn't buying another car off no lot. Fuck that. Once I saw how that went, and thank God I saw that early in like 87, I learned that lesson. Check the chat, Spark One, the private chat. Once I did that, I knew that I was going to have to live my life alternately. And that's when right when I got into a little money, got into Hollywood and saw how dudes was living, how they was trying to front like they had all this bread and There was a dude I used to see do this every year, to go to the Soul Train Music Awards, to go to the NAACP Awards, to go to certain like grand openings to movies I would get tickets to, certain high level parties. I would always see this white H1 Hummer. This is when they first came out.
Mm-hmm.
And this dude, same dude, always drove it. And it had an Enterprise car rental e-sticker on it.
Mm-hmm.
No nameplate, but like a steel e-sticker. Come to find out, that's a magnet that's on their high quality rental cars.
Mm-hmm.
This nigga here was screwing a girl that worked at Enterprise and had her set aside at her company group rate money for him to rent that particular white Hummer so that everybody thought he owned a white Hummer.
And that's crazy, man. That's so crazy.
That's insane.
Ingenuity, all that energy, right?
That shit is
and
dope.
He could have put the a lesser amount of energy into having one outright that he wasn't paying for, that was just attached as a lease to his company. You know, like this is why it's so crazy. Like it's like they're going through all of that. You know, all this energy, because it's a lot more energy to do it that way than it just is to actually have the thing and have it as a tax write-off with your company. You understand what I'm saying? Like, it's like it's insane, man.
Well, bruh, that was the whole point. He didn't have no company. This nigga was a security guard way away from LA, so people wouldn't know. Yeah, he was always running scams. Come to find out, I'm gonna let him remain nameless. But he was always this dude with credit card scams and all kind of funky shit to get ahead. And he always drove real nice cars and wore expensive shit and looked like he was playing the game. And all the time, this nigga was one hustle away from the feds.
And now you know the Kennedys and rich families all throughout the United States now that have had money for generations started the same way, but the difference is that they flipped it into some real, you know, those con men was looking for the real.
No, okay.
You know how to flip it into the real deal.
I gotta stop you right there, bro. I gotta stop you right there, right where I disagree. It is not, and you are right, the Jews, the Chinese, the Irish, all had their hands in dirty money to establish a base. The thing is,
we love Bruce Lee because of the triads. Like, if there wasn't no triads, we wouldn't even know about
Bruce Lee. The point is, all of the aforementioned groups of races were allowed out by the system. When it came time for us to grind and get a foothold, that's what we thought it was time for. No, all the crack game was one big trap. It is so aptly nicknamed the trap because that's what it is.
Let me
never designed for you to go legit.
Because this is something I wonder about all the time when people bring that argument up. And I studied like history, right? And the Chinese went through. It's like everybody, all of these cultures, right, that we talking about that kind of opposed the traditional white culture went through this at some stage, right? Okay. The Chinese went through it. They call it the Boxer Rebellion, where they was stringing them out on opium and tearing apart their culture and reducing, you know, the Chinese man down to even to the myth that, I don't want to say if it's a myth or what, but even to the stereotype of this day where they say, hey, they got small penises, they lesser men and this and that. All of this came from this era where the English and the British was controlling China and had everybody strung out on opium and dope And somewhere down the line, their underground organizations had to rise up, the White Lotus Society, and fight against and run a revolution to get free. And now you got the China that you got today. You understand what I'm saying? So I get that argument, is like, but I don't always get it, because I know that almost everybody on the planet went through the same kind of rigmarole with the devil. The difference with us is that we didn't educate ourselves out of it or take advantage. We sat there. The difference between us is that we trusted them to change.
Okay, well,
okay, go ahead.
I gotta give a yes and then Bruce, you got the floor. Yes, we trusted them to change, and the reason we trusted them to change is because we are the only people on that list of people you mentioned that, as a race of people, were stripped of our names, gods, religions, and cultures, and made a 400-year experiment of. We were a social experiment, the likes of which has never been seen before in human history. No one has ever done that. So it's not to excuse the lack of progress, but it is to explain the lack of progress on such a grand scale.
I hear it, and not to take away from anything that you're saying, because I know there is an argument for that, but I will beg to differ that there weren't other societies that went through slavery with the same devils for longer periods of time.
Okay, well, I want to get into
really,
that.
If we really look at it.
Okay, hold tight.
I think our problem.
Don't get into
one
that.
One point, and I'm gonna shut up. I think our problem is that, like, there was a time where we could have looked to those cultures for answers and pointers, and we kind of shitted on them.
Okay,
because we thought we was white folks.
Okay,
this is what I've witnessed. You know what I'm saying? Like,
fair enough.
Now,
before I respond to that, I'm gonna open the floor back up to Bruce. What was your thought? You still feel in the same groove with this? Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So what I was gonna say was, to go in with a culture supersedes everything as far as dominance and everything like that. When you come out and you don't have a culture, which is exactly our problem, you tend to gravitate towards power. So whether you wanted to be like white people or not, those were the ones to look up to. That makes sense. So that's where most of us went when they got to integrate. See, integration.
A good deal of the blacks are saying that they are not Africans anymore.
Yeah, but that's an argument. My cousin just tried to have this argument with me, and what I told him was that shit don't matter. And he goes, "What do you mean?" I said, "It don't matter. It's an argument. It's a splintered argument that means nothing because you don't know where you came from. So until you and 100,000 people can grab where you actually come from, it's a mute point. And whether you were already over here or got brought over here means nothing. Your shit sandwich, it tastes the same as mine does. You can call whatever the fuck you want to call yourself when you get home.
All right.
As soon as you leave your door."
So here's
I got one more question. One more question, because I'm trying to understand something. Really understand it, not argue, but have a
yeah, definitely.
So all right, so that I hear what you're saying on that, and the cultures and what's going on, but at what point? So because there are wealthy 200-year-old black families. Mm-hmm. In America, like unlike a lot of other countries, there are black families here, over 100. you know what I'm saying, black families here that have thrived and have been wealthy for 200 years in construction and transportation and all of that. I went, you know, I did a little stint at I was at University of Maryland for years, and I used to go back and forth with my Howard friends and stuff like that, and actually sit in. And a lot of those children that went to their school, their parents are of that, of those cultures, right? What would you say is what is the difference of what's going on with them and the access that they've been able to create for themselves, as opposed not having a culture? You understand what I'm saying? As opposed to the people that you saying just didn't have culture. Because what I'm trying to understand is, what is an excuse that just puts you into a useless eater category, and what is real? I'm stoic, so like I don't really have a lot of time to hang on.
I'm with you on that. So I can do this real small too. So like, I grew up in a neighborhood, but at a time where the niggas that was balling, you never saw them unless y'all was related or some shit. Like, unless you knew them before they was balling, you don't know. You hear their names. It's a couple people that know them. They might, you know what I mean? But you don't know them people. They came from the same neighborhood you did, and them niggas is balling, millionaires and all kinds of shit. Don't never see them. Ain't never seen them in the hood, not one time. It's kind of like that. It's knowledge. Once what I've noticed about a lot of smart people, or people that has gotten a bit of knowledge, a lot of them, when it works, like the poor, it's funny as hell, because the poor people that have not a lot of knowledge want to teach every fucking body. OG with the TV on the floor, he want to tell everybody every goddamn thing.
Yep.
But the people,
that's because he don't know nothing though.
Well, he don't know nothing to make it.
I'm explaining that. I'm explaining that. Don't take it offensively.
No,
but I'm explaining that. Yeah. I'm explaining why. It's always the people that don't know nothing that want to tell the most.
Right. Oh, okay, fair enough. I don't, you know what I mean? I just noticed growing up, that's what that always was. The people that were still around didn't have no money, but wanted to tell you how to go get some. The people that were still around that didn't have nothing, your house might look better than their house. Like it just, that's what I always noticed. And the people that actually obtained things and got some stuff, the people that got shit to lose tend to covet more. So I'm very selfish with the knowledge, because for a lot of different reasons. You know what I'm saying? The energy to teach somebody that don't want to learn, or to find out at the end of the day they don't really want to learn. They just want to borrow from you or beg from you. The toll it takes to try to be teaching the world of motherfuckers that don't really want to learn. It's 100 people in here, only 5 really gonna come up. That type of energy they don't really want to deal with. That's why a lot of power tends to be ancestral. Or if that's the right word, it's a lot of people that already know somebody.
Nepotism, like nepotism.
Okay, yeah. You already know these people. This is your best friend's daughter. She becomes the vice president. It's shit like that ends up happening because it's whatever tradition.
Is that wrong though? Is that transfer?
No. It's just mathematical. It's mathematical probability. You don't. That's why I said when the digital age becomes digital, mathematically speaking, it's really a fucked up thing, mathematically speaking, because just being you and as successful as you are, because I checked out your page, I just ain't reached out all the way yet, but just being as successful as you are, you understand that some of this is a waste of time. You know what I mean? Like some of this teaching that I could be studying or doing something, I might be wasting my time, but for you, you've decided to continuously be a teacher.
I tell you why. I don't want
to lose the thing.
Yeah.
But most people, once they have obtained and got knowledge to keep obtaining, decide to covet. They shell up, and this is it. I'm just doing this now, and I'm not teaching outside of my parameters.
I don't believe that, and I'm gonna tell you why. I don't believe that. and just walk with me because I wanna show you something.
I ain't got no problem pushing mute.
All right, now check it. Look, all right, so this is why I don't believe that, right? Wealthy people are looking at parameters that people who aren't wealthy are not looking at. Now, I'll give you an example. If you open the books and see who gives to the inner city, where the money is coming from for programs, you're going to see it's coming from wealthy Black people. And I'm going to tell you why it's coming from wealthy Black people. Because they need, one is because they need the tax out. Two is because they're choosing to put it to things that can help and raise their people, 500 Black men, whatever it is that's out here. You understand? There are a lot of programs and there's a lot of money that is not just all federal money. And even if it is federal money, it's coming out of Black folks' pocket and being purposely funneled towards certain things that's going on in the inner city. So while you might not see their face, guaranteed you spending their money if you're not working for it. That's just real. You understand? If you get any kind of subsidy, if you get any kind of subsidy, now hold on, I'm not arguing. I'm just saying. Okay. I'm just saying this. I'm just showing that they're not always abandoning, but with knowledge, you got to kind of put stuff out in sequences of where you're gonna see. You got to look at who's doing with what you already given before you can give more, because they'll get up in your shit and destroy it.
Right, but and that's exactly. But the problem with this is, if I go take $100 grand, a dope fiend that wins the lottery is a couple $1 million dope fiend still. So if your program, like, so I think I forget, it might have been 500 Black men. I remember having one assembly. Now, mind you, 18 years of school. I remember 1 year having an assembly where Black men came and talked to us on some just being Black situation. Once, I remember that, and I covet that memory because what they said and how they said it. So, but I know when we walked out, there was some niggas talking about, let's go, we can go smoke in the bathroom. And the majority of it was just like, we cool, just the fact that we ain't in class right now. But I remember that, and I can almost tell you the entirety of the speech. But I understand, mathematically speaking, it was only going to be in an assembly room, in a gymnasium full of 400 kids, 5-6 of us covered that speech. Now, where we find them after that assembly, the numbers and all of that, well, that's on our parents now to keep us in contact with them, because we don't have no phone. At that time, we didn't have no phone or none of that. So you lose. So it's like, we don't, the same argument I have with Unc is like, okay, you a billionaire. All right, cool. That's cool. Jay-Z don't own no school, no hospital, no he own it. And fuck the Fed. Them, his family. There's nowhere to go, and not necessarily get in contact with these people, but there's nothing that I can go to the Urban League. Well, I get to the Urban League and they might have a job for me. Maybe.
Well, you just said it, why that is, though, because in that dimension, he can't share nothing that he actually owns with none of them until they show and prove that they're going to take care of it and keep the institution functioning.
Right. So this
like, if they don't do with the basics, because that he puts out, because I do look at the books and I do look at New York, like who's putting to New York taxes and what's going on in programs. You'll see that they are doing that, one, because it's a write-off.
Tax write-off.
But not just that, but two, you can choose to put your write-offs and to anything. You can choose to put your money or your charitable contributions to anything you see fit. You understand? Right. So if they do put it to inner city programs and school programs and science programs, you just might not see that offhand. Now, it would be no value for him. Like, I'm gonna tell you the value of me running a ranger school. One is because I thought about it, and I was like, yo, these kids don't want to be in no fucking brick and mortar institution. They want to be out here in the wilderness learning some real shit, science, education, engineering, development, and security. So why don't I set up something where I don't have to set up, I can set it up in situ in the rainforest, but it doesn't have to be a building that I have to pay an overhead on. And that'll allow me to allot more money to the training, you understand, take over the ranger program in the country, of where they're getting all of their rangers from us and growing from that way. But we have to engineer these things. We can't just be arguing and pointing fingers at, because a lot of people do that to me. They tell me what I'm not doing and they have no idea. I walk around like a gardener with dreadlocks. You don't know what I got, what I'm involved with, and they'll sit me in my face. I just like dropped a bunch of dough on something, and they telling me what I'm not doing.
Right, like, mind your business. Don't worry about it.
You don't know what I'm doing and shit, and I can't tell you because you want to eat me because of your attitude.
Right.
You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah,
That's all I'm saying. It's never what we think it is. It's never what we think it is unless we get ahead of it and get a handle of the information and the readings and really understand it and make intelligent assessments instead of emotional assessments. Now let's go back to the mathematics, because you talked about mathematics. There's no emotional assessment in the mathematics. You got to kick that emotion out so that your mathematics will be clean, hard facts and actionable facts that you can do something with. You know what I'm saying? The only reason why I'm able to do what I'm doing is because I took the actionable facts and I acted on them in a way of where it can work. I had to figure the shit out. I had to go through bumps and bruises. I had to give all my money to people who just want to eat me alive. I had to fall and raise up. I had to, raise a family up, and people still, get caught up in like family politics and didn't want to have nothing to do with the institution that we set up. All types of things. I just brought up 500 black men as an example. A better example would have been the Nation of Islam. Very few people actually, aside from the Muhammad speaks and the things that they do to raise money on their own, are feeding into their economic programs. And I'm gonna tell you, being down here, them fools that's in the upper echelon of that don't work for years, they got shit. They got some real deal wealth down here. A majority of them are from down here. And when I say down here, I'm talking about Central America, South America, the Caribbean. You understand what I'm saying? There's power. The difference is that they not overly showing. They going out and doing their thing. They wearing their suit that they press every day. They're not overly flashy. The newer ones are, but they still going. They still keeping below their. They don't have crazy overhead, and they are collecting a generational wealth. They saw that it was more important to have our own schools, raise our children in our own schools as competition. Sister Clara Muhammad, all of these different schools that they have, it was more important to invest in that than to complain about what a rich man do and keep sending your children to the enemy schools.
For real, that's real.
I feel the emotion, right? Because I'm there, man. I'm from the hood. I was raised in those vibrations, but I do see the difference of what people think is going on in those levels, as opposed to. But you
understand that you are a mathematical exception, right?
Nah. I'm telling you,
so you don't think that your level of success,
no,
the fact that
I am what I'm supposed to be for the time. Like I'm not a mathematical exception, and change. Okay. And change is not exceptional what I'm doing. You understand? You can't look at it like that. It's not an exception because I'm not different than you. You understand what I'm saying? I'm not aside from you. You know what I'm saying? I'm not outside
anytime, of you. And that's very humble of you to say. But when Wonder Woman became queen, and she looked at her people and decided to hang a man herself because her people was like, we can kill him. It's okay, princess. She went, nah, I'm the queen, and I'm not above my people. That's a lie. That's a lie and a half.
No, it's not. No, it's not.
You can understand your people.
That's why I say it's
when
about
she killed the
education.
man.
Don't feed into what they've taught you, dude. Because
I'm not. What I'm saying is understanding a level and being above the
it's
level
not
is
a
two
lie.
different things.
It's just in the zone that you in.
What's going on, gentlemen? We had some technical difficulties.
Yeah, that's what it sounded like. It seemed like he muted everybody.
Mm-hmm.
Zero, you muted right now. Oh, you okay? You good? You back?
Okay, we muted. Well, man,
I muted
still
everybody.
talking to you.
Hold on. I muted everybody because everybody was talking at the same time. So I can't cut any of this dope shit you both said. We can't cut it later. So I want you to finish your thought, Bruce. And then when he's done, Zero, you can chew it up all you want. But if you do it both together, there's no way to cut it. All right. So Bruce, go ahead. Finish your thought.
Oh no, he was talking. I was asking him. All I said was the level. You don't believe that a person that is placed as king is different. You don't. A person that's placed as king, if that's his place, that's where he's supposed to be, and he's in it, is above the people in the kingdom. Whether he understands them or, I believe there's a level of understanding you could have. I mean, you're supposed to have in order to rule correctly, but to say you're the same as them, I think I wouldn't say that would be correct, and that's all I'm saying.
Okay, now go ahead.
Divine right of kings and queens is a delusion. It's an illusion. You understand? That's how they got us all fucked up. On one hand, because this is where I get, because you got to understand, right? I'm trying to take in from a bunch of different people that
so
feed
funky.
into.
I got places to go
right?
and shit to do, but this is the shit.
Yeah.
Keep going.
So this is what's up, man. Like you have people talking Anunnaki stuff, right? And then you have people talking this and you have people talking that, right? What I'm saying is the divine right of kings is some bullshit. Kingship, queenship, the divine right of human beings that can bleed. You understand? Like you, that you can topple, that you can fight in hand-to-hand combat and possibly beat. That shit is a delusion, bro. So I would never put myself in a situation where I'm so hardy that I think that I'm above that shit and I can't lose to somebody that just comes and put a bullet in the back of my head. You understand what I'm saying? It's not being humble, it's being stoic and real about how things function in the world. That shit is not real. It's no above, it's no none of that. You get what I'm saying? None of that shit is the reality. The reality is do you understand? It's information that is the power, not who says is the king or who we put in the atmosphere as a queen. That shit is not the reality. It's what they know. You understand? Stupid ass kings die all the time throughout antiquity. Stupid ass queens die all the time, and then shit falls into shambles throughout antiquity. So that doesn't put anybody higher than anybody. Presidents die. Any fucking body can get slain and killed, and a whole regime toppled, and a whole revolution shifts the whole culture of a country or community and shit. That's the ultimate reality. But that's not the reality that we learning in school. You understand? We learning some bullshit. My Little Pony and believing in kings and queens have magical power and that they over people. That's not real. And the fact
I'm
that
not saying that. I'm not saying it.
But check it. Let me tell you what I am saying. Why I know that you're not saying that, but I'm saying that is what they're feeding us. They're feeding that to us, where we think on that level like it's even a possibility, and it's not. You understand why they going around smacking the fuck out of kings and queens and taking their shit? Hawaii, smack. Zulu, smack. You understand? A regular old dirty ass English white man or Irish man going around and smacking down the royalty all along the planet. So how much does royalty and kingship and queenship really matter, yo? It doesn't. It's just an ancestral symbol to the people, And if the white man can put himself as the ancestral symbol to the people, he becomes the king. It's all stick to using rulers and shit. It's not real. What's real is information and the currency, the control of the flow, the energy of an economy. That's what's real. Kings don't even control that. Queens don't even control that.
I just use the word. Like I'm not getting hung up on the word, but I'm saying if you in a place or if you're the one ruling a situation, you know, at some point, these people cannot delegate as good as I can. Whether they're good at better at things than I am, that's the whole nother thing. When and being able to die doesn't make you better or worse than nobody. That's not what I'm speaking on.
You can't delegate without the power, without the people. Without the people, you can't. It's not by word and tongue. Delegation is if they even trust you and love you enough to follow what you laying down as the plan.
Ooh, right, and you can do that with anything. But what I'm saying is that's why I prefaced it by if you're in correct position. So a janitor can be the leader of other janitors. That's not what I'm speaking on. I'm speaking on somebody being able. This is why I say you're a mathematical rarity. Out of everybody in your community that you grew up with, how many of y'all are in the position that you're in?
I probably would say, now that what I'm seeing in our generation and what we are, you got to understand we're the generation that came to the States, learned enough and left. You understand what I'm saying? So it's a lot of us. The average Jamaican man that you see mopping the floor got probably a big ass spread plantation in his homeland. That's what I'm trying to tell you. Like your interpretation of what a king is or is not is where they got you by the cojones. You understand what I'm saying? Because I've known, even with black FBA people, I've known people who've been janitors and chauffeurs and shit like that, and in their community they are the man, and they have been the man, and they've raised. They might have been the cleanup for this person, but they've raised institutions and done all type of things for their communities off of that salary, which was good at that time, and flipping it into other types of businesses and stuff like that. We just don't respect them because once they a janitor, we just feel like they always a janitor or something like that. I don't know what it is within our mind, but what I'm telling you is no, it's not a rarity. The person that can see what's really going on is a rarity. That is actual people that's out here that's winning. That's the rarity. And then that's how you learn when you come from nothing. You link up with the ones that's winning, but if you can't see them, you can never connect. If your mind is set to say, hey, it don't happen, it ain't real, it's an oddity. Nah, dude. Life goes on, it's moving forward. You have access to things that your mother and father didn't have access to. Your children have access to things that you didn't have access to. You would be killing your children by trying to advise them on how you would go about doing a thing rather than looking for the master in this day and time and allowing them to study with that master.
And the master of whatever knowledge that I'm seeking in that realm would be above me in knowledge, would he not be?
I don't know, man. You saying above me in knowledge? He just knows more, and you can do one or two things. You can humble yourself and work with him and work for him to learn what he knows and how he operates. And then in that sense,
so you have a problem with more of the vocabulary I'm using. Yeah, you understand what I'm saying. You just don't like the vocabulary.
Yeah, I understand. I can't get into it because it's like I can't get into that because then I wouldn't be I wouldn't be doing
what you are.
On phone. I can't get into it like that. You know what I'm saying? Because I can't. That mathematics don't calculate in my world. Now, I'm not saying that it's not real in somebody's world, but if you're saying I want to shift, if I want to shift in anything, I got to go to the mathematics that I'm not used to. and shift everything I do into that mathematical frequency for shit to work.
Well, I was just saying, okay, so like you said, when we
So
start speaking,
if it was true, if
it's
what
all
you're
math,
saying is true, if they are above, I would never say it, but I might show and prove it by sitting at their feet and studying with them and interning with them until I know how to move, how they move. But I would never put them. I would never put them as a king above you. As a
no. Just acknowledging they know something more than you do, or they, you know what I mean, whatever the case may be.
I wouldn't do it. I wouldn't do it in the white man's spell, and in his tone, and in his wordplay. I wouldn't use none of his shit to honor nobody that I have an honorific value. Because it's a play, it's a spell, and it's a trickery to it. And a lot of that shit is just going to put me behind and in a zone of actually worshiping a motherfucker rather than just, you know what I'm saying, learning from them and elevating. You understand what I'm saying? See, that's why I'm telling you that the divine right of kingship is not real. And for most of the people that you do see that can command that kind of power, they don't even have to put it out there like that.
Well, that's the problem. Okay, so that's the problem with that type of power is, like I said, the beginning of it was, if this is what you're supposed to do, and you know you got that, you can command that type of power. Most people that can command that type of power, most good people or well-meaning people, don't, because of the fear of the power. They don't need it. They get enough respect. They get enough respect in their life. Don't nobody bother them, so they don't wield the power. Well, the problem with it is on the opposite end of the spectrum, a bad meaning person, a person that don't mean you well, that commands the same power, uses it. That's what a politician.
The people you talking about, nobody fucks with them. They don't get nowhere.
You're gang leader.
You know what they do? They hold shit above your head and make you believe that they are more than they are. They ain't doing shit in the world. They not functioning in the world. They not doing nothing, yo. You can't really run this shit without magnanimity, without being magnanimous and fair. And that's the whole key to it, dude. Like, it seems that they getting over, but they not, man.
Okay, how about the Heinz family, the people with the ketchup? How are they doing?
They've got a whole center devoted to them. It's called the Heinz Convention Center right here in Boston, Massachusetts.
I might have to push back on that, brother. Zero. It's quite a few white families.
So why is Heinz scrambling to buy carbon credits from indigenous people in Central and South America to not lose their holdings?
See, that's no types of shit in the air.
No, you're not understanding my question. I'm saying that if they are doing so well, so like you're looking at a center and some shit that don't matter. You understand what I'm saying? Like you're looking at a statue that somebody made to themselves as proof that they're doing well.
That don't make sense.
That don't make sense.
My bad. I just think that there always needs to be leadership. No matter how society is going to be structured and what it's structured on, there's always going to be leadership. And whether it's good or bad, it's a necessity.
Yeah, it has to be balanced, though. It can't be a pyramid scam or a pyramid scheme. Those never work.
Right. That's why I got what you were saying.
There's gerontocracies. There's all different types of governmental structures that do work, but you're talking about top down, and I'm telling you that never works. It always topples, and a majority of what you see from those structures is delusional, because them people never have the power that they claiming that they have. You don't see who has the power. You might hear about their names, but you don't.
I'm just saying, there always has to be some kind of leadership structure. Even if it's decentralized leadership structure, there has to be some kind of leadership structure.
Right, you know, and it's agreed. It's got to be agreed. That's what constitutions and charters and contracts are. you're contracting yourself to. It's not. I never said it doesn't have to be a leadership structure, of course. But if you're in on it, then you're in on the agreement. See, a lot of reason why Black people in America miss out on a lot of shit is because they wasn't in on the inception. They're not in on the maintaining, and they coming like on the ass end of anything now, and they're unable to do anything for themselves.
Well, it's what it is the conversation we was having earlier. We don't have a cultural agreement. See, a lot of people think that China, when they hear all this stuff in the media, that Chinese people don't fuck with China. Yeah, the fuck right. These motherfuckers like that shit. They perfectly okay with the shit that's going on in China. There's very few people that don't like it, but them motherfuckers is cool with that. That's why they not tripping. They do their little tangents. They had a little, but overall, the people, they ain't got no issue with what's going on over there. They cool with it. China's getting power, so you look at us like China, and so we got power. We get respect because China get respect. That's all that needs to really be said about that. We don't have a cultural agreement, so therefore we get to fall out about dumb shit, like just dumb shit all the goddamn time, and get splintered because there's not only is there no agreement there's no cultural agreement. There's no so then people start feeling like they don't have to have any type of honor towards somebody they don't really have a cultural agreement with.
Okay.
We can just
question. Let me jump in with this question before I kick all three of you niggas out of here. That agreement that I hear you speak on often, and that you are exactly right about. I do not disagree with a syllable of that. And the other thing we must always assume, or the place we must come from, is that whenever we disagree, there's a place where we are all right.
Oh yeah, man.
There's a place where we are all right.
It's never with no emotional intent like that.
Exactly.
Trying to get to the bottom of where it's coming from. Yeah.
All right. I'm trying to cross the street, Zero. The cars keep coming.
All right, my bad.
Okay. Now, there's a place where we are all right. And we have to push out to the fringe of where we disagree and understand that filthy fringe was put together and done up to us, not by us. And that there are knots for us to untie. And in that spirit, I ask this question of all of you. I believe we all can get down with a cultural agreement. That cultural agreement Bruce keeps talking about. How much further do we have to break down? And what do you think is the ticket and the way there in 60 seconds each, the three of you? Go. Whoever got the first 60 seconds.
How old is Star Wars?
Oh, God damn, 79, 80?
45 years old, about 45, okay. 46.
Yeah, right in there.
All right. Now, just take that and then take other interests or different things of where true cultures, because real cultures have been constructed because people got together and agreed and said, this is what it's going to be. This is going to be canon. And this is going to be bullshit, and we're going to all agree on this and move forward in the storyline. I think we're looking in the wrong places. We're trying to look at China, and we'll never understand China because everything that people are saying, think that they see on this side about China, is some total and utter bullshit. You understand what I'm saying?
They got their own police stations in our nation.
Yeah, but it's still some total and utter bullshit. You understand what I'm saying? It's what people want us to believe about China. If you want to have your own cultural contract, it takes less than 10, 15, 20 years of people dedicating themselves. Corporations do it all the time. It's called corporate ethos. You follow it or you out. Amazon is less than 20 years old. There's a corporate ethos. You understand? Now, and that's all I'm gonna say about it. It's like you just gotta get together under rules and regulations and create your corporation and create what it's gonna be about and be about that. You understand? Institutions, whatever. There are people doing it though. Don't rub them out like they not doing it because you don't see it. from
Okay.
on where you in the dimension you at.
Time. Very and well put. Okay, whoever, Bruce, Spark, that's actually about a minute and a half roughly, with some grace. So the question posed, what do you think that we all can agree that a cultural contract is necessary? What do you think is necessary to break down to get there, to build up to get there from exactly where we are, how long it'll take, lay it out in a minute and a half or so?
Well, I think it takes a codification to get there. Like, there has to be a code, you know? And I see, you know, we're starting to see that shaping again, you know, in this generation. But I hope it doesn't, you know, find that next silly thing that quells it, and everybody else is back to booty shaking and, you know,
yeah,
pantyhose on the dance floor type of shit.
Okay, I'm gonna take that pause as you are where you need to be. So Brother Bruce, yeah, the question posed to you by the very valid statement that you made is that we don't have a cultural contract, and we can all agree we need one.
Yeah.
What do you think, Bruce, is needed to break down more, build up more? What is in that direction, and what do you think the timeline is?
I believe the people like, I believe our intellectuals, like, I think we need to get 10, maybe even 20. We need to get at least 7 intellectuals, 3 hitters, a couple women, and some people that know some money. And we need to be able to sit down and lock ourselves in some type of meeting and agree about some commandments that we're going to have with each other and how we're going to deal. And like Zero said, incorporate it and push and do exactly what we said we're going to do. How long that'll take is as long as it's, you can get me, as long as it's going to take until you get me in a room with some people that I can do this with. Because,
and while that happens, we got to start shunning Jasper's shade treeism.
We just got to be quiet about it. Because once we do it, the people that's going to move and the people that you talk to, that's the only people that need to know. Everybody else is doing what they do, they're going to go on program anyway. There's nothing you can do about a girl with eyelashes, fake hair, fake weave, cut her eyebrows off and drew them back on. Those people, there's nothing you can do about them. You can help their children though. So get your money together. Like Zero was saying, you have to have your own. If you're going to wage a war, you got to feed the people first. You got to shelter them first. You got to shelter them second, or whatever the order is. But you feed them, shelter them, and then you can make your own economy. Then you can do whatever you want to do. Until we do that, until we can agree on how we doing that and where we doing it, that's the first thing we need to do. And 20 years from there, we straight.
Okay.
20 years from there, we'll have kids that'll be straight because they'll know how to teach their kids.
All right. Well, with that, niggas, I'm kicking you all the fuck out. Wow. My mind is literally blown. Just sitting here, listening to these cats. Bless, Spark 1. Not Bless, Zero, Spark 1. And Jedi Bruce. Yeah, to come in here and all us Jedi spar like that and talk about real deep dope shit. This has been one of my favorite shows to do. I'm gonna say it. I'm gonna start having some guests on. We moving in some big ways, and I want y'all to stay tuned because Power357radio.com is coming. We got some technical hurdles we got to hop. And I don't think they're that big. And then we will be on Power 357 Radio, blasting out a lot bigger footprint and growing a much bigger audience. And I thank y'all for being the original tribe, my original nephews and nieces that are in here. I thank you so much for taking, those of you who've been here since the giddy up, letting me share damn near 4 hours of your time with you to hopefully not provide as many answers as I do questions. I am so happy that we getting in here talking like this. I want to thank Johnny West, Spark 1, Zero, Bruce, all y'all in the chat, Dre, True, Tony Mack, Cousin Annis, Frank, Charles Kendrick, Willie, everybody, Sugar Mac, Top Shelf, Tim X, all of you, Leon, everybody, Sean Atkins, A Savage, Dice, Ja, everybody here. If you, whether you still here or not, thank you for coming and spending that time with me. I promise before this time next week, I will have seen Infinity Pool. I'm going to go see the damn movie. I'm going to find it. I'm going to see it. Okay? Stop fucking around. And on Amazon Prime, all of us should be on the lookout and taking all of this energy, all of this knowledge into consideration and passing this shit around. We need to be doing all of this. Y'all need to see Electric Dream 6 and 10. Just on the strength of my man referring us. Just because Bruce referred us, we need to go check that shit out. Put together your own pieces. And don't give a fuck about what niggas got to say. Yeah, I'm going to check out Rock too. I haven't seen it yet. Put these pieces together for yourselves, people. Fuck what people say about how you put your pieces together. You say the same shit about the people with the aliens. And now F-22s are shooting them down. You don't hear nothing about tinfoil hat people no more, huh? Why? If I was a tinfoil hat, I'd be like, remember y'all was talking shit about me? Talk your shit now would be my attitude. It would. I need to see how you talking this kind of shit. Do your own research is what I'm saying. Don't let people shame you out of it. Don't get stuck in what your mama and them had. That's their shit. It don't work no more. Get your shit. Our shit. So we can be the shit. Stay high in thought. Stay high in deed. Pull out of the gravity of the stupid. Guide your ignorance to your wisdom. Sisters, find your peace. Brothers, find your majesty. It's your Uncle Jeff.